Welcome back, everybody, to the Pokemon SoulSilver playthrough. This is part 31, and we are moving out for good. Well, moving out of Goldenrod City for good, but before we do that, we're going to be doing some shopping. We're going to be doing some special shopping, actually. We're up here at the TM floor, and I'm going to be buying some fancy TMs for my Pokemon. Specifically, they don't tell you the names of each ones, but they do tell you the TM number and the description. And, well, I'm going to be using a couple of them right now. At least I think. Yeah, okay. Yeah, one of them's Solar Beam, and I'm going to be teaching that to Fluffer. And if anybody realizes the reason why I found Solar Beam so attractive, well, then that's pretty awesome. I believe I will be showing it a little later in this video. Blah also gets Thunder. And finally, Bats in Video Games gets Sludge Bomb, because Sludge Bomb is epic. Even though Crobat is more of an physical attack oriented Pokemon, well, Sludge Bomb is pretty much the only... well, Crobat's pretty much the only person that I can teach Sludge Bomb to, so good on ya, Bats in Video Games, good on ya. Alright then, so I decided to see what Fireball wanted to say, and I completely forgot because it went by so friggin' fast. Now, something I did forget to mention, to the left of the Goldenrod Tower, something I never actually showed, is the GTS, the Global Trade System, or Station, I can't remember. And that's where you can trade with people across the world! And, you can do that, and it's neat. Although I can't do that because I'm on an emulator! And I'm talking to Buena here, the host of the Buena's Password Show, to get a blue card! And I don't ever use it because I don't really listen to the radio. You know, there's this fancy thing called the internet, and I do that instead. Okay, so here's the lady that gives you a free thing if you open up the gate. It's Sunny Day, right? And oh, right, okay. So with that in mind, now if you recall, I did teach my Fluffer a fancy brand new move. And I'm going to be teaching Sunny Day, well, not at this very moment, although I decided to look it over, because every single one of my Pokemon can learn it. Although I decided to just think about it, you know, I'll think about it, you know, because I tend to do that, I'm a thinking kind of person. Anyway, I could have sworn that this happened before, but I guess I just lost my head. Oh well. So anyway, now the not suspicious shop becomes a, well, less suspicious shop. And it's taken over by some lady. A strange noise, you say. Alright, well, I guess it's because her false teeth don't fit right. Now, this seems like a much more legit store. It actually sells stuff that I can actually use and is useful. Figured might as well, you know, now that I'm here, I might as well just buy some more Hyper Potions. You know. And help the old lady out. And, no, okay, never mind then. Hee hee! Alright, come back anytime. Hee hee! I can just imagine that crazy old lady. Anyway, so it still says the same thing, which is kind of, you know, it's a little bit suspicious. Buy stuff at my grandma's. You know, that's a great advertising campaign. You want to buy stuff, right? Buy stuff at my grandma's. And unfortunately, the guy that sells you the Rage Candy Bar will only sell you one Rage Candy Bar. That's very upsetting, I must say, because I like to rage and eat candy bars at the same time, so I thought it was a nice fit for me. Alright, so we're here on route something or other. I believe it was 43 or... I can't remember. And we are battling a Psychic with the first Not-2 of the playthrough. Not-2! Not you. Not-2, not you. Good old Not-2. You know, it has the same types as Lugia, though it's nowhere near as good. And that being said, as does, never mind then, I completely whiffed that one. Well, Kadabra again, and, well, you know what, might as well get to one of those fancy shout-out things. Let's see. Darkfire992 says, I guess my best memory of Pokemon would be watching Pokemon the first movie and seeing Ash die for a while. Sorta sad. My favorite Pokemon is Dragonair. That was a very, very, very unique part of the movie. I don't think anything that deep ever happened in the show, you know, with Ash being turned to stone and likely dying. Like, I mean, I remember when I was, you know, watching it the first time, and I just simply could not fathom the thought that Ash had actually died, you know, by being turned to stone. I thought maybe, like, you know, he was still alive, you know, as stone for some, like, somehow he was stone, but he was still alive and just, like, not moving, you know? I never really thought such hideous, dark, dreary things ever before, but oh well. Anyway, so finally, I thought about it for about 5 minutes. I don't even know. Yeah, we're about 5 minutes in. I decided to teach Sunny Day to Fireball. Alrighty then. So as I was saying, Fluffer indeed learned a fancy new move via TM. Now, if anybody didn't know, there's certain combos that you can do in the game. I believe I explained one of them was if you use rollout, and if you use defense curl and then use rollout in the same battle without switching out, then rollout's power will actually be doubled. Well, there's also some other combos in the game, and I decided to show one of them. I believe it's here. Yeah. Alrighty then. So here we go with the Pokemaniac Zach, and he's bringing out the first Rhyhorn of the playthrough. Rhyhorn is just epically epic, I have to say. I had a Rhydon originally on my very first team. Oh god. In blue. It was awesome. I just, you know, there'll always be a special place in my heart for Rhydon. Rhydon, how I miss thee. Now anyway, I decided to activate Sunny Day. Now if anybody doesn't know, if Sunny Day is in effect, or if the weather is sunny in general by another effect, and you use Solar Beam does not have to charge. Oh my god! That was so cool. I love how that move looks in this generation. That was awesome. God, it's like it blinds the hell out of you before making a beam that just descends from the heavens to destroy the opponent's Pokemon. That was awesome, Fluffer. I mean, Fluffer is definitely living up to that one thing that I said back to that rocket about how Fluffer will do horrible things to you. Yes. Yes, he will. Alright, then. So we got a fisherman who's using some, well, Pokemon that we've already seen before. So I figured the best time to get to some shoutouts. Splitter88, just apparently because I just decided to have another one of those examples of what you shouldn't do when you shout out. Splitter88 says, my fave Pokemon, Chinchou. Well, that's awesome. Metalliduke14X says, my best Pokemon experience was playing Brawl and unlocking all of the assist Pokeballs. I never knew of Pokemon much before then. Plus your playthrough of SoulSilver is hella epic and makes me like Pokemon even more. Well, thank you very much. Oh, and my favorite Pokemon is Luxray, and I recently searched through the entire Pokemon series to find him after watching SoulSilver playthrough Part 1. What did I say about Luxray in Part 1? I cannot remember. Oh, God, you know, it's been like so long ago. You know, I was so young back then, Part 1 of this playthrough. I knew there had to be something here. I mean, why would they go out of their way to make, like, this little tiny pathway in the trees and not have something hidden there? Alright, so super speeding while I douse some more, finding absolutely nothing. And we are going straight to a fisherman. Another one. Another fisherman. Trust the Gordon. You know, that would just be great if one of the fishermen was named Gordon. Trust the Gordon's fisherman. Even though that's not how it's spelled, like on the packaging. But still. Alright, so he's got himself a fancy Remoraid, and Fluffer's getting himself a fancy level up. What was I gonna say? I never really watched the Diamond and Pearl series of the show, so I don't really know when Luxray popped up. But anyway, Computer Freak 41 says my favorite Pokemon was Flareon because he was level 25 versus a level 32 Skarmory and won. I know everything about Flareons. Now I'm obsessed. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't really know what else there is to know about Flareon aside from how it evolves and its moveset and its base stats, I suppose. And perhaps what it can learn via breeding. But anyway, this lady, this ace trainer, has got herself a fancy Citizen Zap. And Ledian was kind of in some trouble there. Red Ranger had to switch him out. And the first Bellossom of the playthrough. I remember mentioning this in the last part about Oddish, Gloom's alternate evolution that was introduced in the second generation. Bell Awesome. Yeah. Alrighty then. So Fireball making easy work of that Bell Awesome. Because Fireball is just epic like that. And of course, for some reason, I'm just going to stand there for no reason. Okay then. So now, what am I even doing? I don't even... What is this? I don't even... Oh, okay. Alright. Fine. Fine. That's completely acceptable. I am allowed to use items on my Pokemon. You know, this isn't one of those fancy, what's it called? Nuzlocke runs. Although in the Nuzlocke run, you are able to... Well, it depends on what the rules set on beforehand are. Like, if you can't use items, or if you can't use Pokemon Centers. Like, it can only be either one or the other. Anyway. Now, I had gotten comments about the last Charmeleon that I fought from that one Ace Trainer who had all 3 second evolutions of the first generation starters. Yeah, big sentence there. That I did not super speed the Charmeleon battle, even though I had fought one before. I don't know why. Maybe because I just didn't care, or if I just forgot, or, you know, Charmeleon's epic. But still, I super sped it this time, as well as that guy's easy to work with Magnemite. Alright then, so we are moving up in the world, and there's a Bird Keeper. I always forget what their names are. I'm so certain it's Bird Keeper. I keep thinking it's Bird Trainer, and I don't know why. That's such a generic name, you know? I'm a bird trainer. I train birds. Well, that's great, but could you do something different? No, I train birds. I believe he... Crap, why did I not pay attention to that? Vance Archer. Bird Keeper Vance Archer sent out Hoot Hoot. Okay, well, good for you. I believe he said something about the legendary bird-type Pokemon. If not, then I've just gone crazy. But yeah, you know, the legendary flying types and all that he'll probably never get his hands on or ever see, but I most likely will catch, you know? Because that's just my destiny. I'm awesome like that. I get to be like that one guy in the show that beat Ash in the Diamond and Pearl conference. Tobias. Oh, Lord. Oh, this guy wants my number. Nah, I'm alright. Bird Keeper. Alright, well, you know, I don't know. Just leave me alone. Stop harassing me! Be careful not to slip, fall over, freeze, and get stuck on the ice. That's very nice of the sign to say. That totally doesn't make me nervous or anything. God. Seriously, imagine just reading that when you're about to go inside of a cave. You know, be careful not to die, basically. Well, thanks. Anyway, so now we're doing the ice path here. Now, this is pretty much exactly like Price's Gym, in that there is a slippy slidey maze that we have to get through. And there are also some new Pokemon as well. Oh god, that's not new. That's a Golbat. Golbat. Right. Okay, so Fireball, what do you have to say to this? No, Fireball, you're not allowed. Come on, let's keep going. Silly Fireball. If you wanted something to chew on, you could have just asked. God, I could have given you Togepi. Hey, look, it's a Delibird. Awesome. Delibird, the Pokemon that only learns one move. But it's still pretty epic. It's like the Christmas Pokemon. Aw, I should have let it attack. I wanted to see what Present was going to do, you know. But anyway, these things can't be helped. You know, Fireball is just too powerful for his own good. Alright then, and another Pokemon. It is a Swinub! Well, we've already seen one of these, you know, thanks to Price and his associates. Level up for Fireball! Alright, now this is the first legitimate Slippy Slidey maze. Now, it didn't really take me too long to get through this, because I sort of remembered it a little bit from the, you know, from the original games. But at the same time, I sort of did forget how to do it. But, you know, I will work through these things. You know, it's not terribly hard. No, not up, but down instead might work. Yeah, there we go. And then to the left, and up, and to the right. And we are on to the next part. Alright. Now, you actually have to go down here. This was optional in the second generation, but I believe they made it mandatory in the fourth generation, which I can only assume because there is a mysterious guy standing there. And I will show you why that mysterious guy is standing there after I get HM07 Waterfall randomly off of the ground. They made it very, very obvious to get the HMs this time around, because I believe it was very easy to skip over some HMs in the original games. So once you Well, I believe once you just walk past this guy, he'll tell you that he's the one that dropped it, but since you took the time to get it, he'll give it to you. Okay, well, Fireball, what do you have to say to this? Seems surprised to touch ice. Well, Fireball, you're super effective to this, mysterious, phenomenon known as ice. God's sake, Fireball, get with the program. Alright then. 12 Brady 2 Moss 81 says, I remember when I was in 4th grade that me and a couple of friends used to bring Pokemon cards to recess, and we would mix up the cards, and each one of us would flip a card up, and whatever card we got, we would act as the Pokemon on the card we flipped. We would run around fighting each other and stuff. Good times. Although I think I did trip over something once. Alrighty then. You know, that usually happens on the playground. Now for this part, strength is necessary, and I was kind of hoping to avoid that, but since I can't, I figured the best person to teach that to was Rasslin. And I decided to get rid of focus energy because I never really seem to use it. I just seem to just go all out, straight up, offensive hustle with Machoke, and gonna stand there and do absolutely nothing for a few seconds. And think about this. And then think about this. So, all right, okay, the repel. That's a good idea, Anthony. Pat yourself on the back, but not literally. All right, then. So I decided to just super speed this whole bit because this gets pretty gosh darn monotonous. So if anybody's wondering about the combination for this, well, I will show it here. It's pretty gosh darn simple to figure out. But anyways, Hawaiian Rachel says, my favorite Pokemon memory, I have two. One is when I got Hey You Pikachu on the Nintendo 64, and I laugh now because that was a horrible game. Okay, well that was interesting because recently I tried to play it on an emulator, but from what I learned, it is not possible to play it on an emulator even if you have a microphone, because it just cannot be emulated properly, like with the way that the N64's microphone worked. And now, with the stones all in place on the floor underneath this, we can now proceed to bigger and better things, I say. And while I'm getting confused on this this slippy slidey path, well, somewhat confused. Hawaiian Rachel also says, beep bop boop boop. Oh, my second is when I was in elementary school and all the big 5th grade boys used to play Pokemon on the back of the bus when it was big around 99 or so. And I brought Pokemon cards thinking I could go back there when the 5th year boys were not going to let a 7 to 8 year old girl play with them. My favorite Pokemon is Ponyta. I was actually wondering about that because I'd obviously read that. You know, I screened these prior to reading them. And, oh, a Carbos. Carbos! Although I guess it is Carbos, but I like saying Carbos. Carbos. It's the boss. Carbos. Alrighty. I was wondering one thing. What exactly happened when she brought the cards? Did she actually get to go back there, or did they not let her? You know, there are, you know, little things in the story that, you know, that just should be said. And I'm very upset that they're not being said. Alright, so Dowsing found me a couple items, I think. You know, just sitting here like, I think so. Now, Rock Smash isn't really necessary to get through this. You can walk around some things. I don't know why I'm walking. Yeah, I just realized that. Like, why am I walking? I realized, you know, I used the repel. And that is a Never Melt Ice. And when held, will boost any Pokemon's Ice-type attacks by 20%. Very awesome. Well, the damage, I should say, from Ice-type attacks. Although I don't have a Pokemon that has any of those fancy Ice-type attacks, so I don't really have anybody to give it to. Alrighty. So, still dousing. Still dousing. And I decided to cut this part out because, well, I was being a little bit silly, and it took me longer than it really should have to figure out how to get past this. So, yeah. It's a pretty non-noticeable skip. That's pretty much all I had to do. Stand there, walk back, walk to the right. And you get TM72 Avalanche. Now, Avalanche is pretty gosh darn powerful. Oh god, why do I keep forgetting what these things do? I believe Avalanche does 60 damage, and then if you go second in the turn, or if you get hit during the same turn, then its power will double. I misspelt it. No, why is this happening? Okay, there we go. I didn't misspell it. No, no. Okay. Oh, okay, so we're going to be using strength. You know, at the same time, you know, I'm just going to completely ignore what's going on here. Oh, okay, it's a decreased priority move, causing the user to attack other Pokemon that are using ordinary priority moves. If the user takes damage in the same turn, Avalanche's power is doubled to 120. So it's pretty much like the Ice-type version of Revenge. And amazingly, at the very bottom, it says variations of the move Revenge. Revenge. And Avalanche. Facepalm. Alright then. So anyway, we are almost out of this ice path. And gotten another item, another protein. A protein. Not another one. Just a protein. Leave me alone. And, hey look, it's a kimono girl. How you doing? I got, with the dousing and it's not working. Fine then. Well, I'll just go out and talk to this lady. How you doing? Oh my. She can't even turn around because she's frozen on the ice. Flip-flops are quick frozen. Well, it's no laughing. I think it's pretty funny. Shove! God. Whee! Bye-bye. You really are kind after shoving me so hard up through the ice. Yeah, thanks. Anyway, time skippery because, well, this is the part that it took me pretty much too long to actually do that. There we go. PP up! Alrighty. So that being said, what else we got? Nothing. Okay. So we're gonna just slip and slide all the way, friggin' no. Okay, there we go. Okay, you know, I thought I was just getting silly there, but then I realized I wasn't. Good for me. And we are out of the ice path and into glorious Blackthorn City. This is the final city of the Johto region. I am a pretty hotshot trainer. Thank you for noticing. I get that a lot. Yeah, thank you. A quiet mountain retreat. Shh, be quiet, or you'll summon avalanches. I mean, rock slides and the like. That sort of thing. Yeah, avalanche, right? Pretty sure that's what that is. Anyway, that's it for this part of the SoulSilver playthrough. Join me in part 32, where hopefully I'll figure out what an avalanche is. And, Fireball, what are you gonna say? No, that's unacceptable. We need to go outside and learn about what you actually think about the Mr. Fireball person. What in the world? Oh, he's staring at the mountain. Well, I hope he has no intention of climbing it because I sure don't. See you all next time! Crazy Fireball. Climbing mountains. Get out of here.